Now let's move on to my second point of contention. Why it is effective to ban smoking. First layer, because the policy would be effective to protect people's moral well-being or enforce particular community standards. Under the principle of social contract, as a chosen authority of a country, the society will give the mandate to the government to prioritize a distribution of basic right to the society. This mandate will make the government to have the authority to create regulation to ensure the distribution of basic right can be provided. This can only be attained if the process of the creation of such regulation is following the standard of moral value that is believed. This standard of moral value is important because it will determine the standard of welfare. This can only be attained if the government regulation based on the religious and cultural belief of the society. As the representative of voice of the society, the government has the obligation to provide protection toward the society's standard of moral value, because since this standard of moral value is constructed based on the sacred culture and religious belief of the society, then any individual activity that has different value should be treated as a serious threat that can corrupt and erode the preservation of society value. In accordance to this issue, under the principle of criminal and justice system, the most important justification for criminalization is if it fulfills the criteria of harm principle. That it is legitimate for individual freedom to be restricted in the jail only when harm is caused to others. In this motion, even if the purpose of individual who made a decision to harm himself by doing smoking activity is to give him personal definition of happiness, but since the standard of society moral value never accepts self-harming activity as part of their communal value and even always condemns self-harming activity as part of forbidden activity that can harm the definition of happiness, then the existence of this self-harming value should be treated as a threat toward the preservation of the purity of the society moral value, because if being ignored without given any action, then this self-harming value will going to erode the personal value of young people to be no longer respecting the communal value, which will lead to the degradation and elimination of society moral value. And since it will going to make the society to gradually lose their standard of welfare and happiness, then this individual value of self-harming should be treated as a form of heavy violation toward the basic right of the society to gain their welfare. That is why smoking activity is liable to be criminalized.